Good evening and thank you for tuning in. The purpose of this video is to do a book review on a book written by John Baldoni titled The Leader's Pocket Guide, 101 Indispensable Tools, Tips, and Techniques for Any Situation. First off, who is Mr. John Baldoni, and what qualifications does he have to be writing this book? What better resource to find out about someone than Facebook? According to Facebook, Baldoni began his career in communication, specializing in executive speech writing. In the late 1990s, he transitioned from corporate communications to executive development. He has authored 9 books on leadership, including the one I'm going to review, and Top Leadership Gurus named John one of the world's top 25 leadership experts. Now, on to the purpose of this video, the book review. Most of us have heard the phrase, "You can't judge a book by its cover." And oftentimes that is true. But every once in a while, we find that one exception, and this book is exactly that. As you can see by the cover and title, you can tell exactly what the book is about. It is 101 tips, tools, and techniques that are beneficial to any leader in multiple situations. The purpose of the book is an easy-to-follow leadership reference filled with tools, tips, techniques, and great ideas for leaders and aspiring leaders. Each of the 101 tips, tricks, and techniques, which I will call essays, are easy to read and can stand alone. The book delivers inspiration to new leaders and is a refresher or a building block to seasoned leaders. And this book can be utilized for leadership development. The target audience of this book is leaders and those individuals that are aspiring to become leaders. Seasoned leaders can use this book for increasing experience, while aspiring leaders can use it to gain knowledge. Experienced leaders can use this book as a tool to aid in leadership growth, and aspiring leaders can use it as a foundation for future growth. And finally, this book is targeted to experienced leaders who are looking to improve on current skills and are aspiring leaders looking to create those skills to become an effective leader. The strengths of the book is separated into 3 easy sections, including the section on self, which helps a leader better understand themselves and how that benefits others while they lead. The section on colleagues, which is a section that helps the leader to interact and lead those individuals that are colleagues. And lastly, the section on leading an organization, which has tips on improving the health of one's organization through strong leadership. Another strength the book presented is this is easy to read and the information can be used by new leaders and seasoned leaders, and it takes very little time to read each of the 101 essays individually, which stand alone well. One strength the book presented was that while reading a few of the essays, they combined to make a major tip. An example is on the slide on essay 20, which says holistic leadership equal work plus others plus self. What Baldoni means by that is in order to be a complete person and leader, one must be able to balance his or her own personal life with his family life and his or herself in order to lead others more effectively. One other strength I found was at the end of many of the essays, there's a brief synopsis of that essay and a think about that section, which allows the reader to use the tip or tools or techniques from his or her individual needs, providing the ability to customize or tailor the book to each individual situation. Now on to the shortcomings of the book. 1. Many of the essays were vague and made generalizations. In other words, they would not fit in the concept of all organizations. Another shortcoming is some of the language and ideas were repeated. For instance, example essay number 48 says, knowing when to end a conversation says much of your ability to read situations. And essay 57 states, some managers feel that being the first and last person to speak is a sign of strength. Both tips mean almost the same thing. Another shortcoming was a transition from essay to essay. Often there was little pause or purpose. And finally, the last shortcoming, at the end of each of the 3 sections, There was a synopsis of the section, making reading each essay almost obsolete. Is that a shortcoming? Well, who knows? We might save time by not having to read the whole book. Did the author achieve his objectives? I believe that yes. Yes, Baldoni did achieve the objective of the book. The book is practical and relatable. John suggests as leaders, we must ask ourselves 3 questions. What more do I need to do? And what do I need to be doing more of and less of? What else should I be doing? What should I be asking others to do? And how do I accept feedback? And this book answers those questions well. And lastly, the book is filled with tools, tips, and techniques that a new leader can use as a foundation, or a seasoned leader can use in an adjunct to or improvement on current knowledge. Now, do I recommend the book? Yes, I do. For one, it is easy to read, it's practical, the information is relevant and relatable to many leadership situations. The book can be used as a self-improvement tool or to learn new leadership skills. It is a handy guide and a quick reference right at your fingertips. And lastly, it can be used as a standalone program on leadership and leadership training. Once again, thank you for tuning in and watching this book review.